the sixth day / night or day of Hanukkah. Here we are. Come on. You know, the day starts on the evening before. Think of how God words it in creation. He says, and the evening and the morning were the first day. The evening and the morning. But now we're at the sixth evening, which of course begins the whole day of Hanukkah. What did God create? Vav. Okay, Vav, that's the letter, which is the symbol of 6. It's the number of man. And of course, God created creeping things. He created animals, but he created man. And it's the first time he says, it is very good. Before he said, I created the light, it's good. I created this, it's good. I created the fish, it's good. I created man, it's very good. Because he has a plan. He loves you. He loves me. He wants you to be eating donuts. No, I'm just kidding. He wants you to remember the light. He wants you to remember the passion, the first love, that flame. He wants you to remember that. That's what we want to remember here in this time. We don't want to just be having fun. We want to really get in this mode of miracles. It wasn't just a miracle for the swashbuckling Maccabees. It's a miracle for you and it's a miracle for me. Things happen on cycles. Let's go to town again. Let's go and find in this Galilee. Let's find some bakeries. I don't care if it's a gas station. I'm going to find this donut, okay? I'm going to try these donuts. I'm going to find these donuts and it's going to be very good. But let's enjoy this time with our family and let's remember that through it all, God's light is guiding our path and illuminating our path. Here we are on the sixth night of Hanukkah on the Ron Chai Bakery. Doesn't look like much on the outside, but inside this is one of the really pillars of the diet of the Galileans, especially those in Tiberias. It's seriously amazing. Let's go check out what they got in the way of donuts. But just before, think of this guy Antiochus. Think of the religious freedoms that he stopped, that he shut down. He wouldn't let anyone do anything found in the Bible. Many Jewish people went along with it. Called the Hellenization, the Greek Hellenization. Not anything to do with Helen of Troy. It's part of Hellenization. It's to shut down any other faith except for this paganism of the Greeks. Many Jewish people went along with it. Let's go see if they have any donuts. Over here. Delicious. This is a homemade jam. Strawberry. Looks like strawberry. You got some of the other kind of original flavors made here, concocted out of what I call the smartest young minds in the world, the Jewish people, putting their full effort on taste. Wow, what do you have here? This is a rosemary style. What in the world? You got it. Love it. What about a little butterscotch? What about halal? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. What about here? Wow, different flavors. Okay, what are we getting? Let's do it up. It's too much. I can't choose. I'm loving each of these nights. Not only the presents, but the flavors. Let's try it. Shall we go for the butterscotch? You know what? Do chocolate. Deep chocolate. This is deep chocolate. Whoa! Deep chocolate. We got sprinkles on there. You got it's got little chocolate pieces. You got inside a filling of chocolate. Wow. I know we shouldn't give them. We got to give them a real look. To give them a proper appraisal, let's go for Oreo. Oreo, no, that's keto. You know what? Here we go. How about caramel? This is salted caramel. A little salted caramel. How about that? It's gonna be look. It's just a smattering, Happy Hanukkah! So you love Hanukkah? What do you like about Hanukkah? The donuts. Sufganiyot is donuts. Wow. We're gonna give it a rating. We're gonna give it a rating here. We're gonna see if we can hit that number 8. We went from number 1. We had a 3.7, we had a 4.7. We had a few different ones throughout the nights. We're going to see if we can get on the 6th night of Hanukkah something absolutely amazing. Okay, here we go. All right. You gotta love Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Thank you. All right. Let's go. people when they're spinning these dreidels, when they're remembering miracles, when they're praying for God's breakthrough in their life, when they're saying, why should I light a Hanukkah in my house over there in New York, over there in Australia, over there in New Zealand, and people are saying, hey, I'm in the UK, why do I care about miracles, why do I care about Hanukkah? And I say, it's not just about a delicious donut, that's not what it's about. It's about remembering that God has a plan for your life. God has a purpose for you, which is sweet. But time, 2020 has been really not so much fun for my business, for my marriage, for my friends, and I say, has your ministry been affected? Well, let me ask you this. Has something stolen your sweetness? Has something taken your sweetness away? Nay, I say. Nay. Nay, I say. Truth be told, I love chocolate a lot. That right there is oozing with chocolate. Let me tell you, this is a deep chocolate experience right here. It's another world here. It's another world. Now we're going to go to salty caramel. And maybe get a quick video of that. There you go. There you go. Deliver it to the locals. Alright. We're going to get a rating in it. We're going to get a rating. We're going for salty caramel. Woo-hoo! Look at that salty caramel ooze just coming out of there. It's like transformation. It's going from food to butterfly over here. I'm gonna give you my honest rating right now. My honest rating. This went above 5. We're skyrocketing. We're going 5.3. 5.3. That's legit. Now, it's a little confusing with all these candles, right? Because, I mean, you're here at home, you might be trying to light some of these, and you're like, wasn't there a 7 lampstand candelabra menorah in the temple, not 8 or 9 or whatever? And I'm like, well, good question. I always thought that was interesting, is that, yeah, it was always 7, but because of this miracle of 8 nights, and then the, as you know, the little servant candle, so that's 9, and so it's kind of like become a tradition to light these in this way and say this blessing, which is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר חנוכה. And of course singing this song, מעוז צור ישועתי וקנאי לשבח תיקון בתפילתי. It's saying like let's restore and repair the house of prayer. Beit tefilati, my house of prayer. I love it. That's your house, that's your home, that's your tabernacle. Let's do it, and hey, enjoy these nights.
רוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים אלוהים ברא את הארץ ואת השמיים רוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים אלוהים ברא את הארץ ואת השמיים ואלוהים אומר Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, oh, בעולם הזה. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, oh, בעולם הזה. לכו תהיו, או שהעיפת החושך. לכו תהיו, או בעולם הזה.
lights continues every single night. I mean, what other holidays are there like this, where you have a light, a candelabra lit every single night, and you think not only of light, you think of the goodness of the Lord. I'm enjoying each of these nights, being able to have so much fun together, and all the gifts, the raffle, all that stuff. It's wonderful. But what is this whole candelabra? What is this whole menorah? I mean, this one has obviously 8 lights, and welcome to the 6th night out of 8. Because that oil, as we read in the book of Maccabees, burned for 8 nights, even when the temple was under siege by those Greeks. But you know what happens is God spoke to Moses, and he says, look, select for me someone who's filled with God's Spirit. When I think of the virgins, in the parable that Yeshua spoke of, there's 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins, right? And they had oil in their lamps. That means their lamps were burning bright, shining bright. Of course, I wrote a song called Menorot, which means exactly this. It means a menorah is a lampstand. So I want to quickly take us back in time to when God first said, select for me this man named Bezalel, who will make the menorah. And the menorah was supposed to have 7 lampstands burning all the time with a virgin olive oil, the first press, and it needs to be constantly burning. What happens? 70 AD, an evil emperor named Titus comes and destroys the temple. He puts out that light. Everyone thought it would never return. You see on the Arch of Titus, found in Rome, where you see the candelabra, the menorah, being carried away, and the Jewish people being scattered to the ends of the earth. Guess what would happen? The light would come back on. The Jewish people would be regathered by a supernatural force of God. And he would use lights like you. These little lights of his, they're going to keep shining. Let's go ahead and light the 6th candle together. Now, it's a little confusing with all these candles, right? Because, I mean, you're here at home, you might be trying to light some of these, and you're like, wasn't there a 7 lampstand candelabra menorah in the temple, not 8 or 9 or whatever? And I'm like, well, good question. I always thought that was interesting, is that, yeah, it was always 7, but because of this miracle of 8 nights, and then as you know, the little servant candle, so that's 9, and so it's kind of like become a tradition to light these in this way and say this blessing, which is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר חנוכה. And of course, singing this song, מעוז צור ישועתי וקנאי לשבח תיקון בתפילתי. It's saying like, let's restore and repair the house of prayer. Beit tefilati, my house of prayer. I love it. That's your house, that's your home, that's your tabernacle. Let's do it. And you know what? I'm just excited to say, there is also a raffle giveaway, meaning all these gifts. Hanukkah is filled with gifts, you know, every night, 8 nights of gifts, and we want to give. We truly want to give a gift to you. And so, of course, the names of all those who have done that $100 commitment, you remember that we had Build the Ark campaign, and we said through the nights of Hanukkah, we're going to be collecting the names and writing them on little papers of those who have chosen to do a $100 monthly commitment to start 2021 strong. So we're going to put those names in a bowl, and we're going to draw on the last night of Hanukkah. When we light the last night, we're going to draw out the name of the person who wins the prayer shawl. We're going to draw out also the name of the person who wins the ram's horn. And we're going to also have, of course, that return membership sampler. So we're going to draw out that name. There's still time for you to go ahead and write your name. And of course, anyone who gives any monthly commitment of any amount, maybe their name won't be there, but they're going to get the book written by my wife called I Am Miriam. She's a Galilean gal telling the story of another Galilean gal named Miriam, or as some call her, Mary. And so enjoy that. Everybody's going to get one who gives any monthly commitment of any kind. Thank you for being monthly supporters of what you see God's got going in the Galilee. His green goodness growing, and the light is growing. What a day we've had. What an adventure. Each of these nights is such a fun thing. Knock, knock. Who's there? Let us celebrate the Festival of Lights together with the Aliyah Return Center, with the Galileans in Israel. Will you join us again for number 7, the 7th night? It's going to be perfect. Same time, same channel. Tell your friends. Vertical Galilee house of prayer. Prophet Amos in chapter 9, verse 11, speaks of a time where this tabernacle of David, which had fallen down, would be restored. And at the end of the chapter, we see it's when the Aliyah, when the Jewish people return to this land. So in the heart of everything that's going on here at the Aliyah Return Center, we have built a vertical space. It's not as much a place of declaration, proclamation. It's a place of breaking your alabaster box before the Lord and ministering to Him, just like it was done under the supervision of King David. Now is the time where this house of prayer for all nations is going to connect with all nations as you guys come and minister. Do you know that God inhabits, dwells in the praises of Israel? As worship happens right where 29 out of 34 miracles happen and the disciples learned how to pray, we want to ask you, come, do a vertical session. Minister to the Lord in His land.